Hi, it's June 18th, and it's a bit of a rainy day out there. It's a great day to stay in with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea and hear the daily dose of good news, which is from Psalm 107 today, verses 1 through 3, and then 23 through 32. Oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so, those he redeemed from trouble, and gathered in from the lands, from the east and from the west, from the north and from the south. Some went down to the sea in ships, doing business on the mighty waters. They saw the deeds of the Lord, his wondrous works in the deep. For he commanded and raised the stormy wind, which lifted up the waves of the sea. They mounted up to the heavens, they went down to the depths. Their courage melted away in their calamity. They reeled and staggered like drunkards. They were at their wits' end. Then they cried to the Lord in their trouble, and he brought them out from their distress. He made the storm be still, and the waves of the sea were hushed. Then they were glad because they had quiet, and he brought them to their desired haven. Let them thank the Lord for his steadfast love, for his wondrous works to humankind. Let them extol him in the congregation of the people and praise him in the assembly of the elders. Here ends the reading. And I love that the way they have done the pericope for today is it both begins and ends with thanking God for being with them in whatever trials and tribulations they face. And in Psalm 105 and 106, right before the Psalm of 107, it's about basically the Israelites coming out of Egypt and how God was with them in all of that. And so the beginning thankfulness of Psalm 107 is really probably in reference to being taken out of slavery in Egypt. And then Psalm 107, has four different aspects that they list of calamity. They list the time wandering in the wilderness and how difficult that was. They talk about how when they are sick, that piece is referenced. They talk about being prisoners. That piece is referenced. And then this piece about being on a stormy sea. And while maybe we can't relate to feeling like we're wandering around in the wilderness, or maybe feeling like a prisoner doesn't make sense to us either, or maybe we haven't been sick for a long time, I think the stormy sea idea, I think most of us can relate to that. That there are times in our lives that things kick up and that things are intense and hard and difficult for a while. And we feel like these drunkards staggering around, of feeling like our feet aren't underneath us and that we're not on solid ground, and that sense of wavering and uncertainty. That feeling of, I don't feel stable here, I think is helpful for us to think about. And I don't know if you're currently in a storm at this moment, or if simply you have been at previous times in your life. But I would encourage you to do what this psalm again says at the end of it, which is to thank God for that. And have you actually done that? Have you actually thought about some of the storms of your life and just specifically said thank you to God for being with you in those, no matter how scary they were in the moment, that God is with you in the difficulties you face, and that God is in control no matter how out of control you feel, and no matter how scary it seems, and it is in those moments. So I think it's a good opportunity, even though we're not specifically at church and in the congregation, to simply focus on spending some time today in the quiet of the rain outside and what is sort of a stilled storm right now, to just tangibly lift up your thanks to God for whatever storm God has helped you through in the past, in whatever way, whether it's a storm, whether it's a place where you felt like a prisoner, whether it's a place where you felt alone in a wilderness, whether it's a place that you felt like you were in bondage, just to name those. before God today and be thankful for them and for how God takes care of you in those moments. Enjoy the day, everybody. Bye-bye.